Good morning and welcome to Face the Nation. I'm John Dickerson. With just over 2 weeks to go until Election Day and early voting already happening in many states, Hillary Clinton leads in the polls, leaving some Republicans to worry about a rout. And possible finger-pointing is already underway inside the GOP. Meanwhile, Donald Trump continues to say that he'll only lose if the election is stolen. Joining us now is the chairman of the Republican Party, Reince Priebus. Welcome, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning, John.
Is Donald Trump going to win?
You know, I think he is going to win, and I think he's going to win because I think people in this country have had enough, and he's the change agent. When it comes down to risk in this country, Hillary's been tested, and she's failed. She is the risky candidate. You look at Russia, a uranium deal, giving them control of 20% of the world's uranium, her pocketing hundreds of thousands of dollars on speeches, Russian reset, Libya. You look at Iraq and the mess that she left there. I mean, what I'm saying is she was tried and tested. She failed. She's too risky for this country. So that's why she's going to lose.
The RNC is 100% behind Donald Trump.
Well, she's the nominee of our party. Of course we're behind Donald Trump. I mean, this is ridiculous. As if we wouldn't be behind the nominee of the party. Of course we are.
Do you think the election's in danger of being stolen?
No, but I don't. But what I think the media is missing here is that to ask a candidate 3 weeks before the election if they lose, are they going to concede, asking for a concession speech, no one does that. And I think if it's a close election, look, if you lose by 200 votes in Florida, are you going to concede on election night if you're at 260 electoral votes?
But that's not what he's saying. He's not saying if it's a squeaker. He's saying it's being stolen at this moment. The only way I'll lose is if it's stolen. That's really different.
No, wait a minute. That's not quite what he's saying. What he's saying is he wants to reserve all options, and if there is grounds for a recount, I will exercise my options. Look, I know where his head's at. He is not willing to not concede if he loses and there's no fraud.
But his mouth is in a different place than where you think his head is. He said if he loses Pennsylvania, a state Republicans haven't won since '88, it will only be because the state was stolen from him.
I don't think that's where he's at. That's not where I'm at. I think that if losing by 100 votes is one thing, losing by 100,000 is a different thing. I think we can be reasonable on this issue here.
Here's why I ask. It's not just the media. South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley says, quote, "This election is not rigged, and it's irresponsible to say that it is." So is Nikki Haley right, or is Donald Trump right?
I think there are two people saying two different things. I think if you're Donald Trump and you see the barrage and the media implosion on every single thing this guy does, no matter what it is. He eats cornflakes in the morning, and CNN or another cable show, MSNBC, is talking about it 24 hours a day. If you look at Hillary Clinton, what she's got away with on this email scandal, when you have General Cartwright going to potentially prison for doing 1/10 of her. Listen, but I'm trying to put you in the mind of a person who's running for president and sees this unbelievable world around him, and then you do hear about fraud at the ballot box, and you say, you know what? I'm going to reserve all options. That's what he's saying.
But reserving options is different than saying it's going to be stolen.
That's how I say it.
I understand. But that's the problem is the difference between what you say and what he says.
I know where he's at on this, and where he's at is exactly as I'm explaining to you.
Would you advise him, as the Republican Party chair, to say, you know, make this distinction clear? Because otherwise what you're going to do is incite your followers to think that this election's being stolen from them, and that's dangerous, just as a moral point.
And by the way, and he did do that. And he did do that.
He's still talking about election being stolen.
And the week after.
No, I don't mean his response to the debate. I mean just in general. When he goes out and says the election's rigged, he said it last night.
Listen, I think he's trying to also tell his folks to watch out for this fraud that might occur. But look, it's not, I'm telling you, we know this is not millions of people, but what we're talking about are things like, if you look at the Milwaukee police report that came out about 6 years ago. The Milwaukee Police Department put out a 70-page report on election fraud in Milwaukee. This wasn't the Republican Party putting out the report. What I'm telling you is that this is real. So let's not go down this road where we're acting like this is some figment of people's imagination.
But I think the Milwaukee Police report makes just precisely the point. They found fraud, but not enough to steal the election. It wasn't even close.
Right. But if you lose by 100 votes, it might be.
Right, but that's not. But anyway, let's move on, Mr. Chairman, because